seen that you brought this out last hour.
I did. I'm gonna go over and grab some packaging real quick.
Okay.
Because it comes with all the original government packaging, which is pretty cool. So I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna put it over here. Look at this box that they did. How cool is, I'm gonna go ahead and open that up. How good is that?
Wow.
I mean, and you can see it says United States Mint right up in there. Everybody I show this to, people who really don't do any coins or anything, they're like, whoa.
Like I did?
Yeah, right. Yeah, just like you did, like, whoa. That's pretty cool. Now, keep in mind, that's 5 ounces of pure silver. The United States government started the 5-ounce silver coin program with the National Parks quarters. So they did a quarter this size. There's a 5-ounce solid silver quarter. Started them in 2010. Those things can run up to way over $599. But none of those have ever been curved. None of those have a reeded edge. See this reeded edge? And the curved coin, check that out. So you've got that, I guess if you have one of them little tiny dogs, you could use that as a dog dish. A really expensive one, I guess. That's how big the curve is, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It's really, really pronounced. When you get it, it's truly amazing. Now, I don't suggest holding it in your hands like that. You can pull it out of here. It does have an airtight holder. So you can safely handle the coin if you want to, long as you leave it in the holder. As you can see right here, the United States government, it went into back order in about 2 minutes. We have live coins, in other words, coins that are ready to go. The United States Mint shows this coin in back order, which means they don't have any, and they show an expected ship date of October the 1st. I don't know if they're expecting for returns. I call it functionally sold out from the United States Mint, okay? Already there's been a fairly significant increase in the price of the coins. The fact is we have live coins ready to ship.
Now.
Here's the original, right now.
Yep.
Here's the original box, the original packaging, the original certificate of authenticity. I took a coin out just so that you can see it. Once again, that's the Buzz Aldrin faceplate. And how about that mirror that you see right there? There you go. Yeah, there you go. That's fantastic. I like that. That was like from 10 feet away.
Oh, yeah.
That was like from 10 feet away, every bit of it. But that's what you're looking at. Because once again, you look at this, there's the helmet, the astronaut helmet, Buzz Aldrin's helmet. That's the face shield. And it's at this curve, okay, you've got this tremendous curve on the coin to really represent the way that looked. So you have the lunar lander, you have Neil Armstrong, you have the American flag, and you've got that. Then on the other side, there's that footprint that they left on the moon. Liberty, in God We Trust, 2019 with the mint mark. There is the American space program, Mercury, Gemini, and Apollo with all the phases of the moon that they've done in there. It is I almost dropped that. 5 ounces pure silver. So over 1/4 pound of silver. So there's a fairly significant intrinsic value to this, the silver that it contains. But understand, the value of the coin far exceeds and will always far exceed the price of silver unless silver goes to $1,000 an ounce or something crazy like that, which I don't anticipate. But because of that, because of the numismatic quotient of that. Let me put it in perspective. They did an American Silver Eagle in 2006. And in 2006, they did the very first reverse proof American silver dollar. They did what, 250,000 of those. That coin sells for about, we sell it here for about $1,000, has 1 ounce of silver in it. In 2011, they did a 25th anniversary American silver. They only did 100,000, same exact mintage as this coin. We sell that coin here, certified, for I think it's $1,299. This coin has 5 times the silver and basically half the price with the exact same mintage, and it's the very first curved American commemorative 5-ounce coin that they have ever done. So there's so many firsts in this, first reeded edge, first curved coin that they've done in the 5-ounce version, because they didn't do a 5-ounce baseball coin. This has been amazingly popular. When you get it home, this is one of the most truly beautiful coins you've ever seen in your life. I have a very limited number of certified 5-ounce coins in our exclusive Moon Core with the flag label on it, which is available on you have to go to hsn.com on that. If you go to that, it is Moon Core. It is truly and utterly spectacular. We will have a presentation of that in this evening show, sometime between 9 and 11 p.m. So you want to have that and look at that as well. In holder, it is one of the most truly spectacular coins I've ever had the honor to sell anywhere, anytime, any place. Even like this, it is truly a force of nature that you have sitting here.
I hope they can really get the grasp of how big it is. Mike, did you put it in your I want, because, or we can put it in my little hand.
Yeah,
in my teeny tiny hand, it would look ginormous.
Okay, I'm like 6'4", okay?
But that's
so you can see the size of this thing.
Look at.
Check that out, just like that. That
Gorgeous.
is truly, and then you can see how it reflects even my fingertips as I hold it because of the incredible nature of the coin.
Look at that, 3 inches in diameter, under $600, item number 659947 for 5 ounces of that massive. When you opened up that case, Mike, it was